was really pleased with our team's defensive effort this afternoon. I thought our guys played with good effort, good concentration, and really helped each other on that end of the floor. Offensively, did a lot of good things as well, with the exception, obviously, being the careless turnovers that we continue to have. But all in all, a good win, a good weekend for us. A memorable day honoring Eddie House. I think it's really one of the best things that we've done in recent time, starting with Joe Caldwell, including Lionel Hollins, Byron Scott, now Eddie House. And we look forward to doing more in the future. Later this season, we'll do Alton Lister. Also, congratulations to Jaheed on scoring his 1,000th career point. So really a good day for the Sun Devils. I thought our crowd was tremendous. The energy in the building was terrific. You know, for Sun Devil basketball, it was a really good day.
Is it overanalyzing it too much to say that John looks a little bit more relaxed coming off the bench?
I know he's 7 for 7 since we made that move. In John's case, I don't want him relaxed. He's better on edge, and that's one of my great challenges, is to keep him on edge. I just, among the many mistakes I've made, one of them would be that I didn't have him come off the bench earlier in his career. And I screwed up by having him start all those games, because he hasn't missed yet since he's come off the bench.
What all goes into when you make a lineup change in the middle of the year? There's confidence issues. There's a lot to put in.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of thought that goes into it. You know, we all know at the end of the day who starts isn't that important. I mean, you could sub immediately in basketball, but there is that psychological part. So as a coach, though, you're always charged the bottom line to do what's best for the team. And in our case, we have really good people, high character people. And John is one of them. And he's responded to the shift, you know, like a champion. And by the way, so has Eric Jacobson. I mean, I think Eric's improvement, his progress, and his play is really helping our basketball team right now. He's such a smart player, a tough player, and you could just see his confidence growing. And as that continues to happen, you know, I expect him to stay on a really good path.
Coach, you said one of the tough spots today was the turnovers. He said you guys were just playing too fast. Would you think that was the case as well in the first half?
I don't think it was necessarily that we were always playing too fast. I mean, maybe in some cases that was the cause. I just think, you know, we got to keep it simple. We got to be sure. We got to be strong. We talk about those three facets all the time: simple, sure, and strong.
What did you think about the ball movement, or the movement off the ball, and then the balance of the scoring?
Yeah, I think, you know, the last couple games our guys have returned to really trying to play the right way. I thought, as we talked about very candidly, we had some slippage in that area, and I think we're back on the right track with that.
Talk about defensive effort. It looks like maybe one player that doesn't get talked about a lot, Shaquille McKissick. It's probably good for 4 or 5 deflections every game. It seems like almost every fast break that does start is because of Shaquille McKissick.
Shaquille and the other guy who's done a fantastic job on defense is Bo. You know, at first glance, you may say, you know, he's not the fastest guy out there. How's he going to defend? But once again, a lot like Eric, he's smart, he's experienced, and he's tough. And I think, you know, this afternoon, Shaquille and Bo both played outstanding defense for us.
Can you talk about Jermaine working through the groin injury? Are you seeing improvement with him, or is it still?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a little bit better every day. You know, I talked with him this morning, and, you know, admittedly, he wasn't 100% against Utah. You could tell he wasn't moving well, and he finally came clean a little bit this morning, and admitted that was the case, but assured me that he was feeling much better. And sure enough, I think he moved better today, and it was great there in the second half to see him get that stroke going again.
Is the bigger lineup help defensively? Is that a factor in your improvement?
Well, I mean, it depends on matchups. But, you know, Eric is a good defender, not just in the post, but on the perimeter. He moves his feet exceptionally well for a young man his size.
This is obviously a much different Colorado since Spencer Dinwiddie. Strategically, how did his absence change you guys?
Well, I mean, there's no doubt about it. They're a different team without Spencer Dinwiddie, you know. That is really one of the most heartbreaking stories of this college basketball season. You know, in my opinion, Spencer Dinwiddie was a lottery pick caliber player, certainly a first-round NBA draft pick. And I know he could still achieve that. But that's a hard injury. And, you know, a significant injury for their team. And, you know, to me, it's the worst part of sports. And, you know, when you're in it long enough, it happens to your team sometimes, and it happens to the other team sometimes. But that's the one thing that as a coach really gives you a heartache. And, you know, you worry about every time you practice, every time you play, you know, you run that risk. You know, an injury like that, you know, it can even happen without contact. I know we had a couple guys at North Carolina State who did the same thing. And one of our very best players did it in an exhibition game. He went up for a rebound, nobody within 5 feet of him. He came down awkwardly and blew his knee out. And you talk about a hard swallow. It is. And so, you know, that's a tough one. But let me tell you something, Colorado still is a very good team. You know, you don't beat the likes of Kansas and have the wins they have on their resume by having one player, okay? And they most certainly have one of the best home courts in all of college basketball, a place that's really hard to get a win. And so I'm sure they're going to be fine. But I think all of college basketball feels for Spencer, you know, and all the guys, you know, who play the sport, who put so much into it, and then, you know, suffer injuries.